Hello, welcome back. We have another round of awesome sales directors you get to meet today, and I'm so excited to share some of their accolades with you. So I'm going to start their introductions. I'm going to pull up their beautiful pictures for you, and I am extremely excited to introduce Cheri Thomas to you. And this is a cute little fun side note. Cheri Thomas was my adopted director when I moved to Rochester. So I've moved 4 times since I've been in Mary Kay, and I was so blessed to have Cheri as my adopted director in Rochester. So this is really special moment for me to be able to share her with all of you. I'm so excited. So look at her beautiful pictures. I love the one in the middle with her sash, and I love the one with the, oh my gosh, her daughters with the pink Cadillac. That's so fun. Okay, so Cheri began her Mary Kay career in April of 1984. She's been in Mary Kay for 36 years. She started as a newlywed of 6 months. She's been married, just as long as she's been in Mary Kay, 37 years to her wonderful husband, Scott. They have 2 daughters, Sarah and Rachel, who, if you see them in the picture right now, they're 33 and 31. She homeschooled their daughters from 3rd grade to 8th grade, all while being a Cadillac director 2 times. And then she sent them to a private Christian school. She's earned 125 quarters of star consultant status. You guys, that's 125 prizes from Mary Kay. That's so exciting. She earned her first Mary Kay car in June of 1987, which was the Pontiac Grand Am. Listen, guys, that was the red hot rolling car. I earned that was my first car too, and it was hot to try. It was the best car. She earned her first Cadillac in June of 1990, and she's earned 15 Mary Kay cars over her career. 1 Pontiac Grand Prix, a Chevy Jimmy. Oh, I loved that. And 2 pink Cadillacs. She's been in the Queen's Court of Consultant and Director Sales 19 times. That means she has 19 diamond and gemstone rings, or she may have taken cash as a cash bonus. She's been on the Queen's Court of Sharing and earned a diamond bumblebee. She's been in the Circle Achievement 3 times, where her unit has sold over $250,000, you guys, and then twice in the $300,000 unit club. She's been a double star achiever 2 times and a triple star achiever 1 time. Her highest director check has been, we're going to say $7,000 for 1 month. She's helped 5 women become sales directors. She was a monthly Go Give director in the Pearl division of October of 2013. Go Give is something you can't achieve on your own. That's something that you get voted into. So she is a very, very giving director. She has a heart of gold. Currently, she has Kimanne Hotra as an offspring sales director, and she's the proud grandmother of 1 grandson, Logan, who's almost 2, and they're expecting their first granddaughter in April. Oh my goodness, 1 month away, 2 months away. She's earned a 5-day trip to Acapulco with her husband in 1987 as a consultant, and a 5-day trip to the Bahamas as a Destination Red Achiever last October. That was so fun. We had such a great time there. So that is the awesome Cheri Thomas. And then I'm going to introduce to you our next guest director. I love this pic collage. This is Kimanne, and actually she has her, I love this over here. She's got Christian, Girl Scout teacher, Mary Kay consultant, proud director. She is a leader in a lot of areas. Kimanne is actually from Rochester also. And during her first 8 years in Mary Kay, she completed her bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. She's very brilliant from RIT while leading her younger sister's Girl Scout troop. She is serving as an outdoor program consultant for a local Girl Scout council, homeschooling her sister for 8th grade, and working as an engineer. Oh my gosh, this girl is busy. Oh, wow. Followed by teaching engineering, all while making great part-time money and earning her first free car from Mary Kay. Oh my gosh. Kimanne is a busy, busy girl. Wow, they always say if you want something done, give it to a busy person. That there is proof in that. I have to reread that later after this broadcast. So right around her 8th anniversary in Mary Kay, Kimanne knew she was not feeling right for over a year, and it was slowly becoming more often. Knowing that something was wrong and knowing going to her full-time teaching job was becoming harder and harder, she decided to make a short-term 5-month sacrifice for a long-term gain. I love that. She earned her second Mary Kay career car, another Grand Dam, and became a sales director. 5 months after that, a tumor was found in her lung. Kimanne always says that becoming a director was one of the smartest moves she ever made because while she was recovering longer than expected, her unit was still working. She was still making the same amount of money because she had doubled her income by becoming a sales director versus remaining a consultant. Over the next 18 years, Kimanne got married, had a baby, earned another Mary Kay car, which was a Saturn Vue, which she took the $500 cash comp for instead of the car. That's a great choice option. I love that. We could take cash instead of the car. She continues to serve the Girl Scouts, including whatever it takes to give her daughter the best experiences. Homeschools her daughter and serves on the board of one of the large homeschool groups in the area. That basically means she helps make group classes happen for homeschoolers, including teaching some of the classes. Kimanne has been sprinkling Mary Kay in around her life for 27 years. She's been a star consultant 92 times. That means 92 prizes. And on the Director's Court of Sales 7 times, having 7 diamond rings. She is a Mary Kay lifter and says Mary Kay is forever in her heart, along with Girl Scouting and Jesus, of course. I love that. I've known Kimanne a long time, but I've never heard her story like that. I can't wait for you to meet these girls. And you can see some awesome pictures of Kimanne here in her Mary Kay journey. I love that picture of her family. That is so awesome. Okay. So now we're going to move on to our next guest director, Miss Laura DeBadts. Fun and sunshine in the package. She is just a ray of joy. Laura DeBadts. So she's been building her business for 21 years. She joined Mary Kay in 1999 reluctantly because at the same time, she had landed her dream job as a high school agriculture educator and youth leadership coach. You can see these girls are pretty prestigious ladies here. The reason she was reluctant to join because she had just moved to the area from 2 hours away and did not think she would be good at the business, but loved the product and wanted to help her beauty consultant earn her first car. So she didn't even join for her. She did it for her beauty consultant. What a nice girl. We have really nice girls on the call here today. For the first 4 years, she worked her business very part-time around her full-time career of 60 to 80 hours a week. Okay, I hope you guys are getting the gist that these ladies were really busy, and becoming a sales director and making that choice, they did that alongside of these prestigious careers. Okay, then Laura went on to find her why. The students that she was teaching at the time were expected to be the part of a New York State mandate where all students were expected to get a Regents diploma, and the students that she was teaching in biology were predicted to fail. As a result, she partnered with those students, meaning that she encouraged her students to break a record in school, and they encouraged her to break a record in her business. That is so awesome. This was a pivotal, life-changing moment in her business. To this day, it is her favorite memory. And that tells us, you guys, what an amazing woman you're about to meet. She's earned 12 free cars, including 3 in 1 year. She's earned 3 cars in 1 year. That must have been fun. And she lives in a teeny tiny town of Warsaw. So I'm sure her neighbors were like, what is this girl up to? One of which was the fluffy pink Cadillac. 80 quarters of star consultant status, meaning 80 amazing prizes. She's been in the court of sales 10 times. So these ladies you're about to meet can definitely teach you a little bit about selling. So she has 10 diamond and gemstone rings. She's been 4 times in the unit Circle of Achievement, which means that her unit has sold over $250,000 in a year at least. She has been a 3-time double star achiever. She's recruited 14 women in 1 month. What? 14 women in 1 month. Congratulations, Laura. That's exciting. Her most treasured Mary Kay Award was the year that she was nominated in October for the Miss Go Give Award. Wow, we must be really nice here in Buffalo in October. That's when I got my award too, and so did Cheri. How funny. That's so odd. Well, congratulations. You got a bunch of Go Give directors on here this morning, ladies. This is exciting. Her highest check for 1 month was $11,000 and almost $15,000 for 1 month with her sales. One of her most favorite accomplishments was earning a 5-day cruise to the Bahamas, and she took her best friend. I think that was so awesome. We got to go there with Laura too. It was amazing. So wow, what a nice friend. See, I want to be Laura's friend, right? Her favorite family memory was dancing on, oh, I love this. Her favorite family memory was dancing on the top of a Disney Dream cruise ship with her children at midnight in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Well, if you guys aren't inspired by these stories, geez Louise. This was the gift that she paid cash for when they earned her first pink Cadillac. Laura is married to Eric, and they have 4 sons, RJ, 28, Connor, 22, Jacob, 15, and Daniel, 14. It's so funny that God gives us a lot of boys as sales directors. So, all right, I'm going to pull up our beautiful guest directors here, if I can get my little mouse to work. This has been a fun experience, and we're having a ton of tech issues today, and my mouse doesn't want to go, and I might need a new battery. How fun is this? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can pull. One moment, girls. I see it. It's almost there. Ah. Okay, here we go. I'll move it on a different area. Okay, Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. Come on. This is hilarious. I can't even believe we are oh, here we go. Oh, see, Jesus is so good, isn't he? Okay, hold on. Woo! Wow, we got us all. Yay! Hi, girl. Okay, you have no idea. This is going to be so good because we have been really, really frustrated by some enemy attacks here this morning. So, my goodness. Okay, so we are going to start out our sharing appointments. So I am so excited to share with these amazing ladies. So we're going to start out with Cheri, and I'm going to have Laura and Kimanne, if you guys can mute while everyone else is talking, then we won't have any backbeat. Okay, so Cheri, tell us what made you decide to start Mary Kay.
I was actually born shattered from a director from the Buffalo area. I live in Rochester, New York. And she had actually, she had introduced me to her recruit. Lois Treichler was my very first director in Mary Kay. And she was up helping her niece, Pam Gardner, start her Mary Kay business. So she had asked me many times, would you like to try the product? I said, oh, I've used the product. I know it's great. And she made a comment. I kept saying, I'm way too busy to do anything like this because in retail, you're working as a manager, you're working 50, 60 hours a week sometimes. And she found out I was a newlywed, and she said, well, I can just imagine as a newlywed, you could probably make a little extra money. That might be of interest to you. And I said, yeah, but again, the time was the issue. And she said something very important that really helped me to make that decision. She said, if your boss came to you and said, give me an extra hour or 2 in the week, and I'll give you an extra $100. Do you think you could find maybe an hour or 2 a week to make an extra $100? So that was my reason for coming into Mary Kay, because as a newlywed, my husband and I both worked in retail, and it really didn't make a very big income to our monthly budget. So that's why I actually started it.
That's so brilliant. I'm sure a lot of our girls watching today are saying, that's interesting because it's still true today. I love that. Okay, Kimanne, welcome, beautiful Kimanne. Can you tell us, why did you decide to start your Mary Kay journey?
Very simple. I just wanted $100 a week for food and gas. I saw nothing more than a part-time job while I was in college, and that was all I was going to do, is get a little extra cash for food and gas. I do want to share for consultants that are watching to remember not to prejudge anyone, because I'm one of the few people that was never asked. I actually asked 3 different times about the business. My consultant clearly prejudged me because she didn't get any of the hints. So it's pretty funny.
Wow.
So.
Oh my gosh, I never knew that. So you recruited yourself. I think it's always awesome that most of us that move up, actually, if you were to ask, decided to recruit ourselves. So awesome. So both of you started for a little extra money, and here you are now in a career of a lifetime. Okay, Laura, how about you? What made you decide to start Mary Kay?
It's really a funny story. I didn't want to, and I always tell everybody they made me. But really, the honesty of it is, my consultant asked me, it checked back with me for 4 years. Every once in a while, she'd say, Laura, I think you'd be great. Is there, would you consider Mary Kay? And I said, you know what, I love you and I love the product, but this is nothing I'd ever consider for myself. Thank you so much for asking. And she left it open. She said, you never know when your life might change, and you might need something like this in your life. Can I check back with you and see if anything has changed? And so she did that for 4 years. And every time I told her no, but then she was earning a free Mary Kay car. And I loved her for putting up with my not cooperative attitude. And I heard the facts. I had never heard the facts. I never heard how much discount I got. I never heard how much money I could make. I never heard about the personal growth. And so I literally said yes, because she was earning her free car, and she promised that if I did the training and I didn't want to do it anymore, I could put it under my bed and leave it under there until school let out, and then I could do it as a summer job. So I really had no intention of doing it. But once I got in and I did the training, I thought, I figured out what I was missing. And I didn't think I was missing anything in life, but what I didn't have was positive girlfriends. And I literally kept going back to those meetings in Buffalo, because I just couldn't understand why these women were so kind and genuine every single week. And then I realized I loved it.
That's awesome. And I feel like this was so important for us to share you with everybody, because we haven't been able to in person. So I'm so grateful that our Rochester directors and Laura from Warsaw is willing to come on here and share their stories with us. So thank you so much, ladies, for that. And we're going to go back to Cheri. And I know that we all come into Mary Kay, and then it's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. And as we go to things or watch things, little parts of our puzzle comes together. So what was some things, Cheri, that you got from your Mary Kay business that you didn't expect? What were some nice surprises?
It was probably within the first couple months that I was in Mary Kay. Laura kind of touched on it. The opportunity to be able to think more positively. Like, I didn't think that I was a negative person until I got around those Mary Kay people. And then I realized that, you know what, you need to do a checkup from the neck up. That's what we used to always say, do a checkup from the neck up. And I found myself, like, every single day, like, complaining. I mean, it could be a gorgeous, beautiful day, and I'd find something to complain about, and it was crazy. So I had realized that, wow, there really is something to being positive, because then I, made a mental check on that every single day. So that's probably one of those things that I've gotten out of my Mary Kay career that I never would have imagined I would have gotten. I mean, I knew that they encouraged to put your faith first, your family second, and your career third. So that was one of the main reasons why I got started. It's because I thought one day I want to be the one to raise my kids. And so I knew that was going to be there, but I didn't realize what a difference it would make to help me be a more positive person.
That's awesome. I know that's funny. You don't realize really how the negativity you're surrounded by until you're in a different bubble of people, right?
Exactly.
All right. Kimanne, how about you?
Well, I was surprised that, smart as I thought I was, I had a point of view change. I had a view change from Mary Kay. So I did not expect that at all. One of the things was I was programmed, I guess, is what you can say. I was programmed into, when you're at work, you don't talk about God. whether it was in corporate America or when I was teaching in a public school, you never, ever mentioned anything about faith to students or anything. And then I'm going to these Mary Kay meetings with Cheri, and every week, every meeting, multiple times, she's bringing up God and faith. And I'm like, I'm here working, and what does she think we're at church? I'm like, because I was so used to compartmental, keeping everything in its compartment. If I was at church, then okay, we're talking to God. If I'm a Girl Scouts, we're focused on Girl Scouts. If we're at work, we're focused on work. And it's funny how when you're in the public school system, you're always told not to bring up those topics, and then here we are in work and we're doing that. So I learned through Mary Kay that we can blend all these things together. And yeah, there are ways that you can still wear all your hats in all those different places. And I also had a view change in my, I was very much a go, 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 I have to get there kind of person before Mary Kay. I chose a pretty much white male dominant career, and I was going to break the glass ceiling. And little by little, the seeds were getting planted along the way in Mary Kay, and it became more important to me to, be able to have a career still at home and be the hand that rocks the cradle. And so I'm so glad I didn't stick with my original, plan to just use Mary Kay as a part-time job, be done with it, be an engineer, work 70 hours a week as an engineer, climb to the top. And who knows how my daughter would be. She's the sweetest, most confident, happiest little girl ever. And I know it's a lot to do with because I'm home with her. So
I love
I'm
that.
very happy that I had those view changes.
That's awesome. I love the way you put that. You had some view changes, your programming, and being an engineer, I'm sure that's important. Yeah. Okay, Laura, how about you?
This is a hard question because I kind of feel like the process of working the business grew me into a better version of myself, and maybe one that God always wanted me to be. I had a lot of fear motivation that I was unaware of. And I was a perfectionist and afraid to fail because I didn't like criticism. And the mantra of the Mary Kay business is to fail forward to success. And the only way that I could fail in Mary Kay was to quit. And so freedom came as a result of that, a willingness and an open mind to try it and get it back up when it didn't work out and do it again. And as I began to gain that, I gained value that I didn't have on myself and my self-worth. And so I always thought I could do anything, but I didn't always like who I was. And that was shaped by environment that came before Mary Kay. And then I really feel like what came was an authentic sense of feeling like I know that I have a good heart and I know that I have a good mind and I might make a mistake, but I would never do anything on purpose to harm another person. And being able to live more authentically and freely and give permission to other people to do the same instead of walking in fear and shame was something I could never have even realized that I was doing, let alone be freed of it. And so, that just came from being loved. And all of Mary Kay's philosophies of, love people to the top, accept them, don't judge them, everything's unfolding the way it's supposed to. And as long as you get started and don't quit, you'll get where you want to go. And I am grateful for a mind that thinks like that now and allows myself to pour that into other people, especially while you're child rearing. And when you're a teacher working with teenagers, that is really helpful too, because it's so painful to get up and think I'm going to get up and I'm going to go through the grind every day, but what will I have when I'm done with it? And the thoughts that I have now is I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it, and God's going to empower me to get me where I need to go, as long as I have an open mind to doing that. So not to mention the cash and the cars. I never dreamed of those, but they couldn't come until I changed my head.
Right? As I have this privilege to talk to the directors each week about these calls, I find that Mary Kay Ash herself, wow, what she saw such greatness in women. really, as I'm listening to all of you, how we all came in, just like she says, like that tiny little rosebud, and we grow into this big blossomed rose. And it's so great to hear how you guys have recognized and you see how much you've grown through your Mary Kay business personally. Yeah, a lot of us don't like really booking, like, let's be honest. There's some activities we don't really like, but we like who we become in the process. So this is so fun to talk to you guys. Okay, so Cheri, we're going to come back to you. And first I want to ask you, did you ever meet Mary Kay Ash in person?
I did quite a few times. In fact, when I became a director, she had us all at her pink mansion for cookies and tea. It was wonderful. We got to meet her. She would hold your hand and be sure that she knew who you were and ask you, you know, what it was that you wanted to gain from your Mary Kay career. And if she asked you, how are you? You had better say great. Not like, oh, I'm fine. She was just this sweet little 5'2", like grandmother type, but what a strong woman. And it was such an honor to be able to have the pleasure to meet her more than once.
Wow, that is so awesome. Oh my gosh, Cheri, you have a huge responsibility to carry on that that Mary Kay, just many of us, I got to touch her hand, but that was about it. She, you know, it wasn't an experience like going to her home. I just always imagined what that was like. Laura, you've never been to her home, have you? No, I think we became directors just when she had her stroke and we couldn't do that anymore. But oh, Cheri, woo, you're carrying a big torch. So tell us, Cheri, what was a like pivotal moment that happened to you where you decided that Mary Kay was the thing for you? Like you decided you want to move into leadership and bring others with you.
Well, when Lois Treichler stepped down as a sales director, she was having health issues, and Barb Faber became my new senior director and my new director. And she just believed so much belief into people, and she could tell that I wanted more. I just didn't really believe that I could do it. So she believed in me until I could believe in myself. But what happened was I got pregnant. And it's funny, whenever I've taken a step up in my Mary Kay business and management, it's because I got pregnant. And it was because I said, you know what? It's not going to get any easier. I better do it now. I better do it now. So even like that collage that I showed, the very first picture up on the top in front of the red car, the first Pontiac Grand Am, I was 9 or 8 months pregnant with my daughter, because that's what moved me into earning a free car. It's like, it's not going to get any easier. It's not going to get any easier. So we actually used to earn our cars first and then go on to directorship. So I became a sales director for within 4 months of earning that free car. And then 20 months later, I was pregnant again. And so then I moved into directorship, you know, and into Pontiac. Actually, that Cadillac came just a couple years after Rachel, but that's the joke, that, you know, you don't have to get pregnant to move on, but it just worked out that way for me. And it was funny because even when my kids got pregnant, like I started doing more when my daughter became pregnant, because I said, I want more time with grandchildren. So I better really do something really good right now. And that's when we actually finished our trip for Destination Red. So, you know, you don't have to get pregnant necessarily to move up, but that always worked for me.
Well, you have another grandbaby coming. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep. She's due the end of April. So, yep, we're working on moving up again.
I was going to say there must be something big happening, Cheri Thomas. That's awesome. Okay. I love it. Okay, Kimanne, we're going to go over to you. What was a pivotal moment for you?
I don't know if I would call it a pivotal moment. It was more of a have to. I was really struggling with not using my degree. I felt like I earned my degree. It was a lot of work and I should use it. So that was why I still would do Mary Kay part-time around engineering. And then I taught engineering, but I still felt like I had to use my degree. But I had reached a point where I was starting to struggle to get out of bed every day. So then my brain was working, and I knew I had to get a job where I didn't have to go into work every day on those bad days when it was a struggle to get out of bed. So what I did was I decided to make that short 5-month sacrifice and become a director, because in my mind, I knew if I doubled my income, I wouldn't miss my teaching income because I figured I was going to get fired soon. It was okay for the
Oh,
it was okay like the first year when I was starting to not feel well and I would come in late because I had already trained that class. They would go in my first period class would go in and they would start the work that I would put on the board the night before. And they would be quiet and no one knew I wasn't there for the first half of first period. So, but I knew that wasn't
no.
going to last. It was getting to be more often, so it was probably coming. So I made myself become a director, and 5 months after I became a director was when they found the tumor in my lung. And the next school year came, and sure enough, the next school year I didn't have that class trained, and just before they found my tumor, a little funny thing here because I've never been written up in my life, but that class was bad. All those kids thought they were thugs. They were running the halls.
Oh no.
And I had a new department head, so yeah, he wrote me up. But then I went out with my catastrophic illness, had surgery, and once that was done, I just never went back to teaching. I had peace about resigning from it, and I was so happy I became a director because I had a longer recovery time than what they told me, and my unit was still working, and they kept working while I wasn't doing anything with my business. And I never missed paying anything. I never missed getting the level of income I had become used to as a single woman with no kids who could buy whatever she wants. So.
Wow, man, what an inspiring story you have. I've known you a long time, but I've never personally known all of those parts of your story. So that even to me is really inspiring, and I'm glad you have a platform to share that because a lot of women kind of feel stuck, and you just proved that they're not stuck. I think that's such an amazing story, such a great testimony. Though this is just so great. Okay, so Laura, tell us.
Oh man. Okay. So what a fun set of directors you've got on here tonight because you know what is really neat? I am a numbers girl. And back to my thought process of not wanting to fail. I actually didn't want to be a sales director, and they told me that I didn't have to be a sales director. I could keep adding team members all I wanted. And if I got to the 30, which was required to be a sales director, I could just turn the position down and my senior sales director would do the work for me. And so I had calculated that when you earn a car, it took 12 people on your team to earn a car and $5,000 in production. And so I thought, well, if I say I'm going to be a sales director and I get to 30, then if I have 30, I'm guaranteed to make that production every month and I won't have to worry about it. But I don't really want to be a sales director. So the pivotal moment for me was when I got on a Greyhound bus, chartered bus, as the only DIQ on the bus on our way to Providence, Rhode Island for career conference. And directors give their consultants a challenge. And the challenge is to go interview somebody that's in a position you'd like to have. And so my thought was literally a numbers thought. And now I'm on a bus with all these consultants who think that I'm really like the hot thing on the bus because I'm doing what they're not doing. And they're all asking me, so why do you want to be a director? And I can't tell them why I was really becoming a sales director by number. And so I literally had to tell the story of, believing that every woman needs the opportunity to be exposed to Mary Kay. And how long she stays is up to her. And I really wanted to earn that car and I really wanted to make a difference. And so I was just going to keep going until I was in a leadership position so that I knew that I did what Mary Kay asked. And so I said that story so many times that it became a subconscious thought that I just keep doing it. And then the thought of you'll just have enough numbers so you don't lose your car was no longer a thought in my mind because I had told a different story so many times and other people had hitched their wagon to my star. And now I didn't want to disappoint them. So now I was held accountable to this idea of, now they're going to see me and they're expecting me to be a sales director. And so now I need to show up for the position. And why wouldn't I want to make triple the income I was making as a consultant? Because back then I was doing the same work as a sales director, but sales directors made 3 times the income. And so I thought, well, so what? If I can do it alongside of my teaching job, as long as I don't have to quit, opposite of Kimanne, as long as I don't have to give up my career and I can weave it in, then I will keep doing it. And that was the moment where I agreed in my mind that it was okay to move up into a leadership position. But it was the future thought of becoming a mother and staying home for a year and needing the income that a sales director's income provides in order to be able to give myself the choice to stay at home for 1 year with my son when he was born, only to find out 4 months later I was pregnant again. And that was the pivotal moment that I heard God telling me, well, before that, you're going to quit your teaching job. And I did not listen, because I thought you didn't want me to go to 6 years of college and fight through an Ivy League degree where I didn't like myself and felt inadequate every day of my life, only to make me a Mary Kay girl. I didn't need a 6-year degree for that. And I heard God say, but you needed to meet your Mary Kay consultant there. So just do what I'm asking you to do. And it's been 15 years of full-time directorship. So it wasn't like I wrote it on my goal poster and chased it down. That's not how it happened. I was just open to the journey and open to the prodding.
That is so awesome. The other day we were talking to Joanne York about her, because she has her college degree from Canisius too. And I said, a lot of people will say, well, I'm not going to do Mary Kay full time because I have a college degree. And I really think it's a process. And I said to Joanne, I asked her about that. And she said, well, she still is using her degree, like she's running a business. And so for those of our consultants out there who feel like I have a college degree and I don't want to waste it, like, you're not wasting it when you're your own boss. You've learned a lot of great skills in school, and that was part of your journey. And I think it's important that we all just realize our journey is our journey, but pay attention to the pivotal moments like you did, Laura. And I'm just so excited that you all realized and made that decision that you were going to become leaders, because you are so all amazing. So let's get to our last question. I hate to end these little appointments because I love talking to girls and hearing your stories. But let me just ask you the last question, and that is, if you have a piece of advice for a beauty consultant, maybe a red jacket that's stuck, maybe somebody who's not really sure what this whole Mary Kay directorship is, or maybe they feel not qualified, what would be your piece of advice to someone? Well, I guess we'll start with Laura. We'll start with you, Laura. We'll go backwards.
Okay, sounds good. So my piece of advice would be just do whatever your director encourages you to do, even if you don't see the vision for yourself. When I came into Mary Kay, I never thought I'd be okay with the business. I never thought I'd do well with it. But I went to seminar because they said that's what good consultants do. And so my piece would be that dreams happen at seminar. Now, seminar looks different to us, and our conferences look different to us, but there's somebody that's always appointed to connect with you in those experiences. And so I went to seminar because she told me that was what good consultants do, and I wanted to be a good consultant. And at seminar, I realized the dream was so much bigger than where I was at. And at that moment, I came home and made a decision. They offered a $50 starter kit that year for the first time ever. They had discounted the starter kit. And I came home and became a red jacket in 10 days. And that was before we had the internet. So we had to fill out paper agreements and mail them into the company. But I did that in 10 days. And the reason I did that is because I decided that not sharing what I had experienced at seminar was denying a woman somewhere of an opportunity that I had and she might need. And I never looked back from sharing the business.
I love that. And that's how you got 14 people in 1 month. You're a great sharer. Okay, so we will go to Cheri. We want to share with us a piece of advice you have for our beauty consultants.
My advice is to never quit. Sometimes, just like in any business, there's hills and valleys, and you don't quit. And a very wise person told me, you never quit, especially when you're in a valley. And let's face it, who's going to quit when you're on top, right? So just always remember, just never quit. God has a purpose. He might have, you don't change the goal, but sometimes we have to change the time. But if he gave you that dream in your heart to achieve something, he gave you the ability to achieve it. It's just probably, maybe there's a lesson you need to still learn, or that there's other circumstances that are going to be happening around you that it's just not the right time, but you just don't give up.
I love it. Quitting is not an option, ladies. Put that sign all over your house.
That's right.
Quitting is not an option for us. Okay. Thank you, Cheri. Kimanne?
My advice is just do it. Don't think about it. Don't delay it. That's one of my biggest regrets, was not doing things sooner with my business, because when I came in Mary Kay, I never went to any company events. I did not listen to my director. Sorry, Cheri. But my first seminar was Seminar 96, which was the first seminar Mary Kay was not at. I thought it was a great seminar, but I didn't know any better because I never saw Mary Kay in person. And had I gone to seminar my first few years, I could have seen Mary Kay, maybe bumped into her. If I would have became a director my first year, I could have gone to the Pink Mansion and met Mary Kay herself, but it wasn't, I didn't do it, and it's a regret I have. So don't delay, do it now. And we've recently had a lot of nationals who were in Mary Kay's space, and they are amazing too. And they're all a lot of them are gonna be retiring in the next few years. So if you wanna have them hand you your commemorative keys on stage, when we get back to the stage, and at your director debuts and training, new director training, that's another place where you get to meet a lot of top nationals, and people would maybe get to see Mary Kay. You gotta just do it now. Do it now. That's what they say.
That's right. I love that. Kimanne, we used to be, remember the Din Din Club?
Yep, the Din Din Club.
Din Din. Yes. And as our president tells us, Nathan Moore, who's so unbelievably awesome, now is our time, girls. But I'm just really privileged because I know that with having leaders like you girls, Mary Kay is in safe hands. It'll be passed on, but we definitely want to pass it on to more of our consultants. And we want you guys to know that you can do it. And we're all just ordinary people with extraordinary determination. And I thank all of you ladies for your time. You're sharing your hearts today. It's been such a privilege to have you on here. And thank you, thank you, thank you for being you. All right. Bye, ladies.
Thank you, Sandy. Bye.
Bye.